Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Right, we're just going to get straight onto it. We had the names list last week by Jenny Holiday, and it was brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So if anyone missed it, go back and just start to outsource your names list and get it cracking again. It is your asset register. So we do need that all the time. Name, address, telephone number, and information. Always put down information, where they have come from or where you got that name from, so that you've got some connection to go back on. Right, so today we're going to go on to the phone script guidelines. And because, as Sean put it, it seems like a million years ago that we were on last week. This week's just gone crazy. So before I even start, for next week, Sean, will you do the next week one, which would probably do business presentation information? Okay, and you can discuss it and ask people to do different things on it, etc., etc. So for the phone script guidelines, what I thought we would do is we just go through each one of us and ask us, are we using the phone scripts? Do we think they're important? What is your feedback on phone scripts? Do you need a phone script? Put it that way. And then we'll take it from there. So I'll start off. Dom, because you're there and you might be going off, would you like to kick us off? She's gone mute.
To do what, Jenny? Debbie?
The phone script guidelines. Phone script guidelines. Do you use it?
Not really.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Norma's on. Hello, Norma. How are you doing? Okay. Ansi, do you use it?
No, I don't use it. I just speak from the heart as it comes.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, and I find that works for me.
That's what I tend to do as well. I find it a bit kind of like impersonal if I'm not speaking, doing my own things, kind of thing. Just like Ansi says, it's you speak from the heart. Yeah, it's better for me too.
If you talk about using it as a guideline, yes, to a certain extent, but exactly as Dominique says and Ansi says, it's more a case of who are you talking to and what do you say to them accordingly. So you've got the guideline here in your head, but you try and keep it more natural. I don't like to sound like it's a script as such.
Yeah. If everybody's read the book, you will see that's pretty much what Sean's just said. Jenny, what are your thoughts?
This Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny H.
Jenny H. I have to be very careful when I phone, not to say too much. Because, as you know, I'm rent-a-mouth, and I find I'm very aware, and when people ask, I just say I can't give too much information, and this I learned from John, because it's like giving you a haircut on the phone, and then I organize to meet up with them, because you can get carried away, and you can keep it short, and that's my downfall. I just maybe divulge too much information, or I speak too fast and I get too excited. So I think on the phone, keep it simple and keep it short. And that's one of the very important guidelines that you will see in the Eagle Team Manual.
Yeah, your first call. Very good. Right. Jenny P, how do you handle this?
Phone? No, not me. But I'll get there. I don't know when, but I will. I'm scared of these things. It sounds like a play acting, and they don't tell me what the other uncle's going to tell me. So I don't know how to answer the other uncle when he doesn't answer.
So when you phone your friends, Are you scared to phone them, or do you just always just WhatsApp them?
I WhatsApp them.
That's the escape route.
Oh my gosh. Do you know how they absolutely love it? It's quite amazing because when I phone people on their birthdays and I actually phone them, they are just so excited to get a phone call rather than just a message. Okay, John, what do you think?
Okay, good evening, everyone. I used to think like you do and try and think on my feet until I realized that each category of people are actually different to the other, and that you've got to try and work out a strategy. How are you going to approach this group of people? So you got a names list now. Where did you get the names list from? Where did that come from? And how are you going to give your salvo? You know, if you don't have some sort of script to guide you, you can get so tongue-tied that and it's happened to me. When I've tried to just wing it, it doesn't make sense what I've said. And even if I was the other end, I would not respond positively to my spiel. So I've actually done a talk. Say I've got 10 names. My first two are bombed out. I'm just using an example now. I'll redo my names, my spiel again. I'll write it out, and you can see in my one notepad I've done 3 or 4 scripts that I've said I'm going to talk about for this group of people. The one group I'm talking about last week was to do with old business acquaintances, like we met wherever, and I had that script there. I found, like Jenny Holiday was saying, speaking too much. I'd written too much down for the initial salvo, you know, to get past the preliminaries. So what is the key thing that you're going to tell them that's going to hold their interest for the next sentence and the next sentence after that until you get a suitable reply? And I think a lot of people shoot themselves in the foot by not writing anything down at all and try to rely on your memory for each individual person. Sure, you can, and that's why Jenny Holiday said, when you have a names list, put where they're from. So if you are going to visit them, you can have a bunch of people in this area and a bunch of people in that area who you're going to phone these, and you're going to play the smart because you can actually see 2 or 3 people together. But I think you must try your phone script with us, the friendly eyeballs on the screen now. Say, look, I'm going to try this on these numbers, and just phone Debbie or phone Ansi or phone Jenny or whoever. You just phone and say, I want to try this one. What do you think? And just tweak it. Because at the end of the day, we don't sound very professional. It sounds like, I can't put words. It sounds unprofessional insofar as it's okay to bumble through something. If you want to play low, like unprofessional, a sort of pitch, so you're not sounding too polished and too exact on the canned script. I can hear someone that's on a canned pitch that's phoning me, and I love to interrupt and say, so what are you doing now? You know, if you ask a question on a canned pitch, they will lose their plane. And I know I'm sadistic, and I've repented, and I've been forgiven. So if you write down what you're going to say, the parameters, I don't say write down verbatim each word that you're going to say. Say, I'm going to pitch it this way. So Sean and that group I'm going to phone today, these are the people. I phoned them before, long time ago, and I think their season's back in. So my spiel would be, and I would write this out and see if it works. First 2, I'll try. And that's why it's super important to have a long names list so you can do this. If you've got 5 names and that's it, if you've done 2, you're already halfway through your list and you haven't got to a home base. But if you've got a long list, you can say, okay, I'll try this. And sometimes Debbie says, now that's a winner. Wow, that is good. So I've actually even scripted it and I've sent it to Debbie as what I'm saying, what I'm going to tell them. And she says, don't mention that and don't do this or do this. She actually tweaks it. And I think that's where we've got to use the experience that's on this panel tonight, where if you're going to do your little script and do something, draw the skeleton out and fill in the bones and the meat. I really encourage that. And then try it with one of us, and then try it there and let us know how it goes. There's no right way or wrong way. The only wrong way is if you don't do a call. That's a worse call, if you don't do it. And sometimes you can get so in your mind that you talk your way clean out of even phoning anybody. It's happened to me. But once you start and you're on the right track, you start on a roll, and then you can just go for it. And then you've got something there for the next call and the next call and the next call. Thank you.
We've all been in the business quite a long time on this chat. So I'm going to hit it right between your eyes. If you don't mind, forgive me before I even start.
I think I'll get the coffee on.
I think most of you are going about your business the same way.
Can I just say something, please?
Yeah. Yeah. Go, Auntie.
Please. Okay, thank you. John, I just want to mention something. I'm talking on behalf of myself. Maybe the others will agree. I don't know. If I say, if I phone, I speak from the heart. Like I had to phone somebody because of my other meetings. Now, this person I don't know from a bar of soap, but her face looked very familiar. And I had to find out whether she know. I had to find out from A, whether she know B. How did she know her? Is she happy about her service? Will she recommend her? So I did phone her earlier this afternoon, and the phone was ringing, and I couldn't see when last was she on the phone. So I thought, no, okay, let me put the phone down. And not long after that, I got a call from her. So she said, oh, I see I've got a missed call from you. I said, yes, that's right. Have you got a minute? Can I speak to you? She said, yes. I said to her, this person would like to join. I just want to know, did you make use of her service? I know she did. And then she said, yes. And I said, how did you meet? And it was amazing. Although beforehand I made notes, where did you meet her? Was she happy? And all of that. Will you recommend? And all of that. So before I could ask her all of those questions, I said to her, you look very familiar. I think I've met you somewhere at a meeting. And then she gave me all the info that I needed to know. And it was awesome. So my bottom line is, if I say I speak from the heart, I make notes where I've met that person, what's her hobbies or interest, and whether she needs products on health or would you like to make an extra income. Sorry for the long story, but that is just what I wanted to share with you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So what I was going to say is, just to be very honest with you guys, I like to, John's doing it the right way. I'm doing it the wrong way. And I think most of us on here is doing it the wrong way. We meet someone, we speak to them, we like them, we come home, we've got their number, and now we phone them. So there's no real names list as such. So even if we put them on the names list, within that week, we phoned that person. And I think most of us are doing that. We're sort of doing it as we go along. Whereas John sets time aside, and he goes through that name list that Jenny was talking about. even if it's an old names list, even if he's gone back in his old diaries where he's got the name, the telephone number, and what they do, etc., etc. He'll go back to them, and then he's got his 10 names. He sits down and he phones. Now, I don't think any of us do that. Am I right? We all sort of go meeting someone, coming back and doing what I do. I then phone them in the next few days and saying, listen, I met you at the supermarket and I was just wondering if you would be open to look at somewhere. But obviously, I'd ask them if it's convenient to speak to them right now. And that's the way I do it. But I don't think we're going to get very far doing it that way, because we're not going to reach too many people. We're going to keep our market very small. So the first call is obviously, as Ansi said, you know, is it convenient for you to speak? There's nothing more annoying when you get these phone calls from people, and I'm on the road, I've got 3 kids screaming in the background, and they say, hi, and they're telling me their whole spiel, and I keep saying, sorry, I haven't got time right now, I'm driving. I've just got a few minutes, and they'll carry on, then I just switch them off. So, yeah, always find out, otherwise you're wasting your call. And then when you do talk, get the small talk out of the way. And by that, I mean, I met you at the spa and it's, you know, we were chatting and I'd like to. May I ask you a question? Now, I don't think, I'm sure most of us don't ask that. May I ask you a question? But I've been trying it. But as I say, I tried it and it's worked when I've met somebody. So I went to pay my rates, and then I had to put my name down for emails or whatever. And I liked the guy. So I said, may I ask you, are you happy where you are? You know, would you like an extra income? You know, that sort of thing. And I asked them there and then. And then I phoned them afterwards, which I don't think is the right thing to do. I should actually take their name and phone them later when I've got my names list and go through it. Because I'm not holding the business up high enough. I'm giving out, you know, we've had a one-on-one with them. They were very, very interested. They go back to the office and we've lost them. So, yeah. Okay, would you be open to look at a way to earn an extra income? Now, that should come from the phone call. So when I do small talk, I shouldn't do any more than later when I've left there, put their name down. Next week, phone them and say, when I've got my whole names list down, may I ask you a question? Hi, I saw you at the rates department. You seemed like a fantastic guy to me, but may I ask you a question? And when they do answer yes or no, if they say no, so well, never mind, thanks for your time, bye-bye. If they say yes, would you be open to look at a way to increase your income and above to what you are currently earning right now? And then wait for an answer, and we don't seem to wait. We seem to carry on straight on to that. Oh, yes, that's because I've got something great for you. You know, we blah, 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 blah. And that's where we lose the whole thread. I think we need to go back to this, because who is number 1 in the world with Neolife?
Eagle Team.
Who's got the most distributors in the whole world?
Charlie Barton.
Exactly.
Eagle Team.
So why aren't we following what he's teaching us? It just...
May I interject?
Yes.
Now you
yes.
say, why aren't we following what he teaches? Every meeting we go where Charlie is present, what does he do? He takes somebody's phone and he goes through that. Be honest, how many of you actually, you all know that teaching. He takes the phone and then he says, this positive person, he gets the names, and then the positive people, he speaks, and then he hands the phone over. Be honest, how many of us have done that since the last Charlie meeting? Have we followed what he's teaching us?
You're right.
I must be honest.
Yeah.
We haven't. I haven't.
I'll tell you why.
Can I ask something?
Hang on. We're all so concerned about what other people think of us. Those are strangers. They don't even really know us, those people on the other phone. Even the person that we've taken the phone from and done their names. and put them down, and we can follow them up later maybe. But we're so concerned about what other people think of us without thinking of how are we going to impact that person's life. It's the same. How many people have you spoken to about Christ this week? And you know why we don't? Because we're scared of what people will think of us.
No, I'm not scared.
And it's so silly because, yeah, I mean, it's our business, but this is that little video that I sent out on that talk from Rory Dyer. I don't know who listened to it, but what he was saying was, and we've fallen into that trap. We said we've asked God to be the CEO of our business. He's the CEO of our business. Really? It's God's business. We are servants in God's business. So we need to get it out of our heads that God is actually working for us. No, we are working for him. And we've got a lot of work to do. So we need to change our perspective. Sorry, Ansi, you were going to say?
Yes, that's what I've asked in before in meetings. Maybe some of you will recall that. On the same topic that Jenny Holiday referred to, is my question was, do any of us in this meeting do what Charlie Bolton is doing? And I said, I know, thinking of myself, and I said, I don't think any of us on this call is doing what he is doing. As Jenny said, from the beginning, give me your phone. If you're not positive, go on to the other person who's positive. So I will put my head in the block and said, I don't think, Debbie, you're right. Not one of us is doing what Charlie Bolton is teaching us.
That's right. That's right. And that's why we're not earning what Charlie's earning. And it's actually
exactly
quite sad because we all can earn what Charlie's earning. John's gone back now to some of the people who we've joined, and they've joined, and now they are just cold. So he's gone back to them, and he's setting up appointments. He's doing it the right way. He's got an appointment on Tuesday, and he will sit with her. He will take her phone. We've discussed it. He will take her phone. He will write down numbers that together they will phone a few people, and we're going to take it from there. And I challenge all of you to do that.
I think there's a time and place. Thanks, Debbie. When you are inviting someone for the first time, I wouldn't like someone to take my phone and start looking at my phone list and go through it. I think it must be your second appointment, or if they are at least keen and they want to start the business, then by all means, I would say, if you're comfortable, say, look, let's start your names.
Say that.
Yeah, but when would you take the phone? When you just met the person at the supermarket?
No, man. No.
No, but he's got it.
No, definitely not.
No, when they've joined.
Or
when they've joined the business.
Yeah, he said that on a meeting just to show us, and there was a new person.
Yeah.
When they've joined the business. When you're doing your, even after, not even at the follow-up, when they've actually signed on. That's my opinion. Not at the follow-up even.
But even at the follow-up, because then you are reaching their market.
Well, it depends on the person.
Yeah. Although, I don't know. On the follow-up, you can reach their market. If they say no, reach their market. Charlie does it so he can show us what needs to be done. That's why he does it in our meetings. But, I think we're going to bomb out any minute. So you can carry on, guys. Thanks very much for coming on. And
thanks,
Sean, you'll take it next week, Sean. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.